Well, I found out from my mom about this whole thing because she was the one that started doing all the research and reading all the news articles, and then was telling me about it, saying that she heard the first person who came over here to have the stem cell treatment done was a baby, and it turned out that the baby was my kindergarten teacher's grandson. And then she asked me if, I would be okay with her telling, other people about my diagnosis and everything. And I said, yeah, that's fine. Or if I would even consider having stem cell treatment done to improve my vision. And I said, yeah, that's fine. Let's do it. So then that's what got us started with reading the different articles, and then that's how we found out about Macy more, and then the couple other patients who have had it done. And then we just started getting the ball rolling and started getting the fundraisers together we were going to do to raise the money to be able to get here, because there's no way we were going to come up with $30,000 for this right out of our own pocket. So then we had 3 big old huge fundraisers. But I mean, I've always been hoping for some sort of miracle or some treatment that would, regrow my optic nerves. And when I found out from my mom that this was it, I was all for it. I was not going to say, no, there's no way I'm not going to go have this done, because this is the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And the longer I would have waited to have this done, the less effect it would have versus right now. So I was all for it, and I'm glad that I'm here, and I just hope to get out of this whole thing, to be able to see better and possibly get a driver's license later on down the road as I see how much more I improve throughout these next weeks and even months once I go back home.
Well, my biggest worry was coming to China to have it done. I always felt that maybe the U.S. was the best place for medical treatments and advances. But as I learned about it and started reading and seeing what was going on, I felt very confident about what Baker was offering here. It seemed from a distance that it was very safe. It seemed that their documentation on the website was very positive. And I just had a very comfortable sense about the whole thing, that it was okay, that I could subject my child to this. My child is an adult, but yet I'm his mother, and I still watch out for things. I felt comfortable about it. It felt fine. Once I figured out that, yeah, we really should do this, I was very comfortable with it coming here. Well, we went into the first doctor's appointment with our armor on, expecting to be battled about it, but having the positive feeling that, yes, we're going to do this. It doesn't matter what people tell us. We've made our decision. We feel it's right. The first doctor, his usual doctor, that he goes for physicals, Dr. Brett, said, "This is great. I'm all for it. I've already donated." That was the words out of his mouth. So then and then he says to me, "What do you need? What do you need from me?" So we began the process of letting him know what we needed to do, what was required, what we had to submit. He was all for it. I was as shocked as anybody. It was great, a great positive. Small-town doctor who general practice, and it was great. We went to an eye doctor, had to have the complete eye exam again, and also very positive. She had become aware of Baker through Macy Morse, and was now treating Macy, and she was all for it. Again, said, "What do you need from me? We'll do it." And says the only thing she said is, "You have to come back in a year and we'll test him again." So very positive. The oncologist that we went to, because of his low white blood count, was a little more skeptical, and he wasn't going to make any comments about what we were doing, or he wouldn't talk to me about bone marrow when I tried to discuss that with him. I trying to get information from him about the procedure and stuff, he really wouldn't discuss it with me. He said, I don't know what they do there, so I'm not going to discuss it. In his words, those are my words, but that's the sense of what he was saying. But he wasn't negative about us going. He just said, I don't know anything about it. And he kept his mouth shut, so.
They were, my doctor, the normal doctor I see, he was all for it. You know, it was very positive and everything. And then with the only other doctor that I saw back home, that's a blood doctor. When we told him about this whole thing, he was real skeptical about it. He didn't know about it and wasn't sure about it, and wasn't sure what it was going to, you know, do for me. So we were kind of explaining it to him, and then he finally kind of caught on a little bit. But yeah, my main doctor, he's all for it and hopes it'll work for me, just like everybody in my hometown is. Very hopeful. So
kind of overwhelming. Had about a 99.9% of very positive response. I know a lot of that just comes from knowing us and the people that we've been around, but they know Matt and they want the best for him, and they've been seeing different things on stem cell, and it's been brought a lot more to light recently, you know, with things going on in the news with Macy's story and with others that have had very positive impact and dramatic impact in their life. There are very few people that said that's never going to work. That's not. There isn't anything that can work like that. And why would you go to China? We have had very little of that. Maybe 3 or 4 people out of all the people that we've dealt with. So very positive response. Well, fortunately, we've invested in real estate and have a couple of houses, a condo in Boulder. And immediately, when we decided to do this, we put the condo in Boulder up for sale because we didn't believe we could ever get this kind of money. Hard to ask for money from us. We're just not that way. We've always taken care of ourselves and done whatever we need. When we first decided to do the fundraisers, end of March, middle of March, by the end of April, all the money was in. It was beyond our goal. We've set a $35,000 goal for this, for his treatments, and they said he was an excellent candidate for 8 stem cell, 2 of his own bone marrow, autologous stem cells, which we were very excited about. And just had overwhelming response. People came out, money came from everywhere. Our condo, we had a contract on the condo for sale, and it fell through. It didn't happen. So God knew what we needed, and I believe that's how it all came in. This is something that we feel is meant to happen. We believe it's from God, and have had a lot of support from a lot of people.
It was very wonderful. I've done quite a few fundraisers in my lifetime for others and for other people. But when you focus in on yourself, it feels different. But I have some great friends that we discussed this with, and musicians on one side put together a concert, and another friend put together a spaghetti dinner, and then myself and some others put together a silent auction. And we put the word out in the local newspaper, and it just happened. It grew so big we had to split the event into 2 events instead of 1. And overwhelming response at the concert. People came and enjoyed some great music, and really overwhelming response to the spaghetti dinner. People were coming that I didn't know who they were, never met them. They may have known Matt from school or something. Donations came in to the silent auction. We put out on the internet on a website for celebrities, and we got a donation from Jimmy Buffett. He sent us some signed autograph book and a few other things to sell at the silent auction. So it just all came together within 6 weeks. From the beginning we started, and by the end we had plenty of money. It just came in so fast. Shocking, shocking.